The Egyptian pyramids are ancient masonry structures located in Egypt. Most were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their consorts. 38 identified pyramids have been discovered in Egypt. Approximately Kush, now located in the modern country of Sudan. The earliest known Egyptian pyramids are at Saqqara. Pyramid-like structures, like Mastaba 3808, attributed to Pharaoh Edijib, may predate the Pyramid of Djoser, built circa 2630 to 2610 BCE during the 3rd dynasty. This pyramid and its surrounding complex are generally considered to be the world's oldest monumental structures constructed of dressed masonry. The most famous Egyptian pyramids are those found at Giza, on the outskirts of Cairo. Several of the Giza pyramids are counted among the largest structures ever built. The Pyramid of Khufu is the largest Egyptian pyramid and the last of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still in existence, despite being the oldest by about 2,000 years.
The name for a pyramid in Egyptian is Mer, written with the symbol *024 in the Gardner sign list. Mer is preceded by 3 other signs used as phonetics. The meaning of Mer is unclear, as it only self-references the built object itself. By comparison, some similar architectural terms become compound words, such as the word for temple, perka, becoming a compound of the words for house and soul. By graphical analysis, Mer uses the same sign, *24, as Benpen. The Benben is the mound of existence that arose out of the abyss, known as Nun in the Egyptian creation myth. The relationship between Mer and Benben is further linked by the capstone architectural element of pyramids and obelisks, which was named Benbenet, the feminine form of Benben.
Preceded by assumed earlier sites in the Eastern Sahara, tumuli with megalithic monuments developed as early as 4700 BCE in the Saharan region of Niger. During pre-dynastic Egypt, tumuli were present at various locations, such as Naqada and Helwan. From the time of the early dynastic period, the Egyptians with sufficient means were buried in bench-like structures known as mastabas. At Saqqara, Mastaba 3808, dating from the latter part of the 1st dynasty, was discovered to contain a large, independently built step pyramid-like structure enclosed within the outer palace facade mastaba. Archaeological remains and inscriptions suggest there may have been other similar structures dating to this period. The first historically documented Egyptian pyramid is attributed to Egyptologists to the 3rd dynasty pharaoh Djoser. Although Egyptologists often credit his vizier Imhotep as its architect, the dynastic Egyptians themselves, contemporaneously or in numerous later dynastic writings about the character, did not credit him with either designing Djoser's pyramid or the invention of stone architecture. The Pyramid of Djoser was first built as a square mastaba-like structure, which as a rule were known to otherwise be rectangular, and was expanded several times by way of a series of accretion layers to produce the stepped pyramid structure we see today. Egyptologists believe this design served as a gigantic stairway by which the soul of the deceased pharaoh could ascend to the heavens. Though other pyramids were attempted in the 3rd dynasty after Djoser, it was the 4th dynasty, transitioning from the step pyramid to true pyramid shape, which gave rise to the Great Pyramids of Meidum, Dashur, and Giza. The last pharaoh of the 4th dynasty, Shepseskaf, did not build a pyramid, and beginning in the 5th dynasty, for various reasons, the massive scale and precision of construction decreased significantly, leaving these later pyramids smaller, less well-built, and often hastily constructed. By the end of the 6th dynasty, pyramid building had largely ended, and it was not until the Middle Kingdom that large pyramids were built again, though instead of stone, mud brick was the main construction material. Long after the end of Egypt's own pyramid building period, a burst of pyramid building occurred in what is present-day Sudan, after much of Egypt came under the rule of the Kingdom of Kush, which was then based at Napata. Napatan rule, known as the 25th dynasty, lasted from 750 BCE to 664 BCE.
The Meroitic period of Kushite history, when the kingdom was centered at Meroe, approximately in the period between 300 BCE and 300 CE, experienced a full-blown pyramid-building revival, which saw about 180 Egyptian-inspired indigenous royal pyramid tombs constructed in the vicinity of the kingdom's capital cities. Al-Aziz Uthman, 1171 to 1198, the second Ayyubid Sultan of Egypt, tried to destroy the Giza pyramid complex. He gave up after only damaging the pyramid of Menkaure because the task proved too large.
The shape of Egyptian pyramids is thought to represent the primordial mound from which the Egyptians believed the earth was created. The shape of a pyramid is also thought to be representative of the descending rays of the sun, and most pyramids were faced with polished, highly reflective white limestone in order to give them a brilliant appearance when viewed from a distance. Pyramids were often also named in ways that referred to solar luminescence. For example, the formal name of the Bent Pyramid at Dashur was the Southern Shining Pyramid, and that of Senusret II at El Lahun was Senusret Shines. While it is generally agreed that pyramids were burial monuments, there is continued disagreement on the particular theological principles that might have given rise to them. One suggestion is that they were designed as a type of resurrection machine. The Egyptians believed the dark area of the night sky around which the stars appear to revolve was the physical gateway into the heavens. One of the narrow shafts that extend from the main burial chamber through the entire body of the Great Pyramid points directly towards the center of this part of the sky. This suggests the pyramid may have been designed to serve as a means to magically launch the deceased pharaoh's soul directly into the abode of the gods. All Egyptian pyramids were built on the west bank of the Nile, which, as the site of the setting sun, was associated with the realm of the dead in Egyptian mythology.
In 1842, Carl Richard Lepsius produced the first modern list of pyramids, now known as the Lepsius List of Pyramids, in which he counted 67. A great many more have since been discovered. At least 118 Egyptian pyramids have been identified. The location of Pyramid 29, which Lepsius called the Headless Pyramid, was lost for a second time when the structure was buried by desert sands after Lepsius's survey. It was found again only during an archaeological dig conducted in 2008. Many pyramids are in a poor state of preservation or buried by desert sands. If visible at all, they may appear as little more than mounds of rubble. As a consequence, archaeologists are continuing to identify and study previously unknown pyramid structures. The most recent pyramid to be discovered was that of Neith, a wife of Teti. All of Egypt's pyramids, except the small 3rd Dynasty pyramid at Zawiat el-Mayatan, are sited on the west bank of the Nile, and most are grouped together in a number of pyramid fields. The most important of these are listed geographically from north to south below. Abu Rawash is the site of Egypt's most northerly pyramid, other than the ruins of Lepsius Pyramid No. 1, the mostly ruined pyramid of Djedefre, son and successor of Khufu. Originally, it was thought that this pyramid had never been completed, but the current archaeological consensus is that not only was it completed, but that it was originally about the same size as the Pyramid of Menkaure, which would have placed it among the half-dozen or so largest pyramids in Egypt. Its location adjacent to a major crossroads made it an easy source of stone. Quarrying, which began in Roman times, has left little apart from about 15 courses of stone superimposed upon the natural hillock that formed part of the pyramid's core. A small adjacent satellite pyramid is in a better state of preservation. The Giza Plateau is the location of the Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid, and the Pyramid of Cheops, the somewhat smaller Pyramid of Khafre, or Chephren, and the relatively modest-sized Pyramid of Menkaure, or Mycerinus, along with a number of smaller satellite edifices known as Queen's Pyramids, and the Great Sphinx of Giza. Of the three,
Only Khafre's pyramid retains part of its original polished limestone casing near its apex. This pyramid appears larger than the adjacent Khufu pyramid by virtue of its more elevated location and the steeper angle of inclination of its construction. It is, in fact, smaller in both height and volume. The Giza Pinnacular Complex has been a popular tourist destination since antiquity and was popularized in Hellenistic times when the Great Pyramid was listed by Antipater of Sidon as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Today, it is the only one of those wonders still in existence. This site, halfway between Giza and Abu Sir, is the location for 2 unfinished Old Kingdom pyramids. The northern structure's owner is believed to be Pharaoh Nebka, while the southern structure, known as the Layer Pyramid, may be attributable to the 3rd dynasty pharaoh Kaba, a close successor of Sekhem-Khet. If this attribution is correct, Kaba's short reign could explain the seemingly unfinished state of this step pyramid. Today, it stands around 17 meters or 56 feet high. Had it been completed, it is likely to have exceeded 40 meters or 130 feet. There are a total of 14 pyramids at this site, which served as the main royal necropolis during the 5th dynasty. The quality of construction of the Abu Sir pyramids is inferior to those of the 4th dynasty, perhaps signaling a decrease in royal power or a less vibrant economy. They are smaller than their predecessors and are built of low-quality local limestone. The 3 major pyramids are those of Nusere, which is also the best preserved, Nefere-Rirkai Kakai, and Sahure. The site is also home to the incomplete pyramid of Neferefre. Most of the major pyramids at Abu Sir were built using similar construction techniques, comprising a rubble core surrounded by steps of mud bricks with a limestone outer casing. The largest of these 5th dynasty pyramids, the pyramid of Neferi-Erkar Kakai, is believed to have been built originally as a step pyramid, some 70 meters or 230 feet high, and then later transformed into a true pyramid by having its steps filled in with loose masonry. Major pyramids located here include the Pyramid of Djoser, generally identified as the world's oldest substantial monumental structure to be built of dressed stone, the Pyramid of Userkaf, the Pyramid of Teti, and the Pyramid of Merekare, dating to the first intermediate period of Egypt. Also at Saqqara is the Pyramid of Unas, which retains a pyramid causeway that is one of the best preserved in Egypt. Together with the Pyramid of Userkaf, this pyramid was the subject of one of the earliest known restoration attempts conducted by Kayemweset, a son of Ramesses II. Saqqara is also the location of the incomplete step pyramid of Djoser's successor Sekhem-Khet, known as the Buried Pyramid. Archaeologists believe that had this pyramid been completed, it would have been larger than Djoser's. South of the main pyramid field at Saqqara is a second collection of later, smaller pyramids, including those of Pepi I, Djedkare Esesi, Merenre, Pepi II, and Ibi. Most of these are in a poor state of preservation. The 4th dynasty pharaoh Shepseskase either did not share an interest in or have the capacity to undertake pyramid construction like his predecessors. His tomb, which is also sited at South Saqqara, was instead built as an unusually large mastaba and offering temple complex. It is commonly known as the Mastabat al-Pharaon. A previously unknown pyramid was discovered in North Saqqara in late 2008. Believed to be the tomb of Teti's mother, it currently stands approximately 5 meters or 16 feet high, although the original height was closer to 14 meters or 46 feet. This area is arguably the most important pyramid field in Egypt outside Giza and Saqqara, although until 1996, the site was inaccessible due to its location within a military base and was relatively unknown outside archaeological circles. The southern pyramid of Sneferu, commonly known as the Bent Pyramid, is believed to be the first Egyptian pyramid intended by its builders to be a true, smooth-sided pyramid from the outset. The earlier pyramid at Medum had smooth sides in its finished state, but it was conceived and built as a step pyramid before having its steps filled in and concealed beneath a smooth outer casing of dressed stone. As a true smooth-sided structure, the bent pyramid was only a partial success, albeit a unique, visually imposing one. It is also the only major Egyptian pyramid to retain a significant proportion of its original smooth outer limestone casing intact. As such, it serves as the best contemporary example of how the ancient Egyptians intended their pyramids to look. Several kilometers to the north of the bent pyramid is the last and most successful of the three pyramids constructed during the reign of Sneferu. The Red Pyramid is the world's first successfully completed smooth-sided pyramid. The structure is also the third largest pyramid in Egypt after the pyramids of Khufu and Khafra at Giza. Also at Dashur is one of the two pyramids built by Amenemhat III, known as the Black Pyramid, as well as a number of small, mostly ruined subsidiary pyramids. Located to the south of Dashur, Mazguna is a smaller known pyramid field about 3 or so miles south of Dashur. Several mud brick pyramids were built in this area in the late Middle Kingdom, perhaps for Amenemhat IV and Sobek Neferu. Both pyramids had underground burial chambers. The northern Mazguna pyramid is the largest of the two ruins found in the Mazguna field. The entrance to the pyramid was located on east side of the pyramid. Here, a short stairway descended to a square chamber. The burial chamber was filled with a monolithic quartzite sarcophagus vault with a receptacle for the coffin in its north and the canopic receptacle in its south side. Different parts of the quartzite sarcophagus was covered in plaster and, like elsewhere in the pyramids, painted red. Two major pyramids are known to have been built at Lisht, those of Amenemhat I and his son Senuseret I. The latter is surrounded by the ruins of 10 smaller subsidiary pyramids. One of these subsidiary pyramids is known to be that of Amenemhat's cousin, Kaba II. The site, which is in the vicinity of the oasis of the Fayum, midway between Dashur and Midam, and about 100 kilometers south of Cairo, is believed to be in the vicinity of the ancient city of Ichtawi, which served as the capital of Egypt during the 12th dynasty. The pyramid at Midam is one of 3 constructed during the reign of Sneferu and is believed by some to have been started by that pharaoh's father and predecessor Huni. However, that attribution is uncertain, as no record of Huni's name has been found at the site. It was constructed as a step pyramid, and then later converted into the first true smooth-sided pyramid when the steps were filled in and an outer casing added. The pyramid suffered several catastrophic collapses in ancient and medieval times. Medieval Arab writers described it as having 7 steps, although today only the 3 uppermost of these remain, giving the structure its odd, tower-like appearance. The hill on which the pyramid is situated is not a natural landscape feature. It is the small mountain of debris created when the lower courses and outer casing of the pyramid gave way. Amenemhat III was the last powerful ruler of the 12th dynasty, and the pyramid he built at Hawara, near the Fayum, is believed to postdate the so-called Black Pyramid built by the same ruler at Dashur. It is the Hawara pyramid that is believed to be Amenemhat's final resting place. What once was one of the most important archaeological discoveries in Egypt now looks like a pile of rubble due to the casing being removed from the times of the Romans. The Hawara pyramid was once covered in limestone, but only remains as a mud brick core today. The pyramid of Senuseret II at El Lahoun is the southernmost royal tomb pyramid structure in Egypt. Its builders reduced the amount of work necessary to construct it by using as its foundation and core a 12-meter-high natural limestone hill. Pai, the king of Kush, who became the first ruler of the 25th dynasty, built a pyramid at El Karu. He was the first Egyptian pharaoh to be buried in a pyramid in centuries. Taharka, a Kushite ruler of the 25th dynasty, built his pyramid at Nuri. It was the largest in the area, North Sudan.